And apparently we are supposed to be live, Lars.
Woo!
Yes. Can you see us somewhere?
Okay, at least I see it on your channel. Let me see if I can get it up and running on mine as well. There we go. All right. Seems to be the case that we are coming through on YouTube as well.
Yeah, great. Okay. Should we just start?
Well, maybe as people start to join us, maybe you can chime in and let us know where you're joining from. We just started the stream now, so I'm guessing it'll just take a minute or two to get everyone who's able to join, at least everyone on board, to say hi and yeah, where you're joining from. If you're willing to share, when was the last time you did a weekly review? Well, I see the numbers going up, so I think the live stream is coming out correctly now.
Mm-hmm. Hello, guide.
I see Scotland, San Francisco, Copenhagen.
Hello, Netri.
Great. Great, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Hello, Helen from the Arthur Hebrides of Scotland. How do you pronounce Hebrides? Hebrides? I have no idea. I'm sorry, I'm killing your where you're from. But you are welcome. And hi to Fan Tulpan as well.
10 days ago with the weekly review, waiting for this one. That sounds good. Hebrides. Yes. I'm seeing. I'm guessing now.
Hello and welcome, Kiran. And we have Anton from Copenhagen.
Zurich as well. Great.
Mm-hmm. And Joost from Netherlands. Welcome. And Stephen from the US of A. Welcome. Oh, people are coming quickly. So and
great. So as people are just saying hi, I just want to share something before we start, because there was I've created a sort of I've decided to call it an experiment, Morten. I think that's what Google does, right? That you can sort of try things out, and it's okay if you don't promise that this will last forever.
I hear. I hear that might be the case. Yes.
I think that's the best way to describe it. What I've done is that I have created, and we'll share this in the podcast as well in the future episode. I have created this weekly review tracker. So it's supposed to help you with the weekly review. And it's not really finished. So this is sort of an experiment to share with you all right now. And if you want to join, you can. It's at larsweekly.com. That's the URL. It's free to join. The intention is for you to track when you've done your weekly review. Just see, keep that streak going. One of the things that I personally really like is that we have a great global community, and I can sort of start to see we've only invited about 10 people so far, and you can sort of see that if I start to hover some of these. Okay, so Hans in Germany hasn't done his yet, but of course this is Monday now, so none of us probably have. Morten is up here in Oslo, Espen further up, Jukka from Finland. I'm sitting here in Denmark. That small dot will then change as I start my weekly review, and let's say that I want to start it now. So I'll be yellow, and hopefully this will then start to populate and go green as we go through the week, and we can sort of all help and motivate each other to do the weekly review. So if you do want to join us, larsweekly.com is the place to go. Now let me switch back to the Global Guided Weekly Review. Anything to add, Morten?
No, just this is really cool. We have two generations of GTDers here today. We have a father and daughter, so it's
Wow, nice.
that's cool. Welcome, and I'm monitoring the what is happening now. Hopefully, it will be good. I will respond to your questions during our session. So please continue, Lars.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the comments as well. The last time I did a weekly review, what do you mean weekly?
Weekly?
So let's. I think we have found the right tribe here, right? That's the that's the phrase. So let's jump straight in. The official welcome to the Global Guided Weekly Review that we have set up now for the second year in a row. Coming back from the Vital Learning podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a lot of fun to do this. We had fun doing it last year, and we promised to do it again. So here we are. We did it in December as well last year. So 12 months later, we are back. The idea sort of came from the GTD summer camp. So for those of you who are not familiar with it, we meet every year. We have done for the past 5 years in Denmark for the GTD summer camp, and just a great group of GTDers from around the world that spend a weekend together in Denmark and just geeking out of different topics of relating to GTD. And one of the things we always do is do a weekly review together, and it's sort of a magical feeling, magical vibe in the room when we do that. So we tried to do that in this case now, and do it globally here on YouTube, and here we are. So I will guide you through the different phases: get clear, get current, get creative. We all have time to do each of these for the next 90 minutes, a bit less now when we are kicking it off. So I will set the pace as we go through here. I recommend you try to follow along. If you complete a step earlier than the time that we've set aside, then you perhaps fall back to one of the previous steps that you perhaps didn't have time to complete. So hopefully that'll work out fine, as it normally does. Not much more to say about today's program, other than that Morten and I have really been looking forward to this. And let's jump straight in. Before we do the first step, just any reflections that you want to make. So before we start, so this could be things like there are specific inboxes that require some special attention from you, or there are some areas of your system that you haven't visited for a while, or you want to take the time today to look a bit further ahead in the calendar. Holidays are coming up, some cool stuff is happening out in the new year, whatever it might be. Any sort of reflections, let us know in the chat. Cool. Getting ready for a yearly review. That sounds good. Get creative can be challenging to get to. Eps.
We have a comment that the weekly review is typically draining, that I don't have the energy to get to the creative at the end. And that is probably because you're not clarifying and organizing throughout the week properly. So if you get that established, it might be easier for you.
Could be. Or alternatively, perhaps you need to do the get clear part the day before, so you can have the more energy for the remaining two phases. Let's see how things work out today, at least. So thank you for providing the inputs now, the reflections. As we start, I propose that we dive straight into the first step in the first phase. So the first phase is called Get Clear. The first step is to collect loose papers and materials. So that means, whatever is spread out all over your desk, all over the shelves, all over your bag, all over the floor, whatever it might be in your case, make sure that we get all that, we put it back into the in tray. For those of you who are saying, Lars, but I'm all digital, well, let's have a look at the digital version of that. How's your downloads folder looking? How's your desktop looking now? So there are probably areas in the digital space as well that might be, would work be even better if there was a bit of a cleanup. So we'll just take the first couple of minutes to do this first step. Okay, now is the time for the next step, which is to get your ins to 0. So that means that we go through and clarify whatever stuff we have found in there. That could be the physical paper you might have just gathered together in your in tray. It could be digital inboxes. So for the purposes of this review, we recommend that you pick an inbox to work with, go on to the next. If you're successful in emptying that one, perhaps if you don't have a list of inboxes, then that could be one place to start, to just draft a quick list of the key inboxes in your life and then pick one to work on for now. One more thing that I wanted to share, which we also shared in the last live Global Weekly Review, was the slightly simplified clarifying model that we use in the GTD trainings that we deliver today with our franchise partner in Crucial Learning. So some of you have seen this in the training. Some of you saw this a few years back at the summer camp. Some of you might even be familiar with this model from the geeky discussion that Morten and I had back in episode number 92 about the different clarifying descriptions and words used and how they might actually impact your GTD practice. So if you want to play along, this is what it looks like today. Is there an action that needs to be taken? Less of an emphasis on the projects to be defined here that we cover in the organized step. I'm just wanted to share this again this year, just for those of you who might find it helpful to have this handy as you go through your inboxes. So at least for me, this was a helpful way to add some good reflections, especially coming towards those long lists and action that needs to be taken. I really like that kind of wording. So let's take a bit more time for this one. Let's take the next 12 minutes to see if we can get through an inbox, or at least make some meaningful progress on one. The next 12 minutes are yours. All right, time is up. If you finish that last one. I hope you found your way through some of the things that had landed in your inboxes. As always, I'm playing along on my end as well and managed to clear out my reminders inbox, but it only had a handful, so it wasn't too big of a challenge. The third step in the get clear phase is to also empty your head. So this is a great time, perhaps to just, look out the window or wherever you want to look, see whatever shows up, and be sure to then capture that as well. This is a great safety net to see if something might have shown up that you didn't catch during the week or last week, perhaps when it first showed up. So this is a great safety net, especially for those of you who haven't done your weekly reviews weekly, as we spoke about earlier. Perhaps this is a really good time now to spend 4 or 5 minutes and capturing whatever shows up. 5 minutes starting now. okay if you finish writing that last one. All right, I hope you managed to capture a couple of things that might have shown up. I saw Morten asking in the chat for the number of things that you might have captured, just as we did the empty your head now. So if you want to, if you're willing to share that with us, you can put that number in the chat as well. Just curious to hear how many things we managed to capture as a group. Next step is to move into the next phase, which is called Get Current. And the first step in this phase is to review your next actions list. So this could be at computer, at home, calls, whatever it might be. If you find things that you perhaps have completed, and be sure, of course, to mark them off. We want to make sure that the list that you then get to work with after the weekly review reflect the current reality. So mark off any completed actions. Be sure to run through as well to see if there are any further action steps to record as well. So let's take some time for this one as well. For this one, I have set aside 10 minutes for you reviewing your next actions. Okay, if you finish updating that last one. Like I said, I play along as well, and I found some things that I decided not to keep on my list and some things that were actually already done. So a nice opportunity to get rid of those as well. Let's move on to the next step of the get current phase, which involves the calendar. And the first step that involves the calendar is to review your previous calendar data, meaning looking back into your calendar. That can be last week, back until the last time you did your weekly review, whatever you feel is appropriate, and see whatever shows up. Do you see anything that you missed a meeting that you were supposed to have, but you were just too busy? So perhaps the next action would be to set up a new version of that meeting, or you had a meeting with someone, they promised to send you something, they missed doing that, so you can follow up, or you promised to send something perhaps and you didn't capture that one, or it didn't make it onto your list for whatever reason. Then now is a good time to review those. Saved me plenty of time to go through this step. So let's see what you find. Let's take 3 minutes to review your previous calendar. Okay, those were the 3 minutes to look back in your calendars. And the next step would then be to look at the upcoming calendar. So time to look ahead and see what is approaching. So this could be shorter term items. This could be what's happening this week and next week, or it could perhaps be even longer depending on your reviews, see what shows up. Are you reminded to prepare something for a meeting, something to discuss with someone before you meet with a client, or a birthday coming up where you need to buy a present or figure out where the party is? Whatever it might be, just have a look through the calendar into the future, capture any actions that you know, are reminded of as you go through the calendar. We will take 3 minutes for this one as well. Okay, that was the next 3 minutes for the calendar. The next step is then to review your waiting for list. So, great list to go through, great time to check in to see if there's anything you need to follow up on, any actions that might have happened during the week or last week where you thought, oh, I need to track a follow up on this one to make sure that we complete this, or perhaps you have received some of them. Perhaps you were waiting for someone to get back to you. Now they got back to you. You can check them off on your waiting for list and then go in and note down the current next action. Let's take another 3 minutes for this one. Okay, that was the time, the 3 minutes for reviewing your waiting for list. Let's move on to the next step, which is a bigger one. Time to review your project and perhaps any larger outcome lists. So a solid review of your projects, really think them through. Go through and see how they're doing. Perhaps revisit any sort of support material that you have, or any kind of thoughts that are triggered from this, or anyone you need to reach out to and let them know that how this project is going, for example. So really take some time now to go through your projects list. Let's take 10 minutes for this one. Okay, time is up for the project review. Time for the last step in the get current phase, which is to review any relevant checklists. So any customizations that you've built in, anything that would be helpful for you to run through, just have a look through those to see if there might be anything that triggers something for you and you want to add that to your list of next actions. If you don't have any checklists that you want to make use of, perhaps this would be a good time to start to brainstorm what would actually be helpful for me to review as part of this weekly review. Let's just take 3 minutes with this one. Okay, that was the time set aside to review any relevant checklists. Let's switch to the last phase, which is the get creative part. And the first step in that is to review your someday maybe lists. So now that we have gotten everything out of our heads and into the system, now we've run through the system, run through the calendar, run through your lists, let's have a look at those someday maybes and see if now is the time to activate any of those. If so, then we want to move them over to the projects list and also use this as a time to prune that list a bit. It can, for some of us, grow quite long. So perhaps we need to take some of them away. Let's just take another 3 minutes for the someday maybe list. 3 minutes starting now. Okay, time is up for the someday maybe lists. And our last step, be creative and courageous. Now that you've just run through everything, the active parts, the non-active parts, does anything show up? Any new crazy thought-provoking ideas to add to your system? Let's just take the last 2 minutes for this step. 2 minutes starting now. Okay, and those were the last minutes for the last step, being creative and courageous. Yay, you made it all the way through. So, how did it go? What went well? What could have done better? Anything you still need to do? Some steps you want to go back to and finalize? Anything you noticed? How did it go? I see a couple of celebration emojis, so I think that's at least a good start.
And feel free to click like on this so that it might get a better reach, people. I'm just
What
saying.
marketing
Yeah.
is out there. Alex, you need more time. Yes, I would expect that to be the case for many of you. I'm guessing there's a pretty solid group here that are seasoned GTDers and might require a bit more time for some of this. Anything else? I see some tips on engaging with paper. I've seen a couple of people try that. Experimenting myself. I think that's certainly an interesting perspective. Enjoying the peer pressure of doing this together. Yes, that's certainly an aspect of that. I think people from the summer camp group as well will recognize that there's something about that in the room and you're seeing everyone else do it. And just, if you know other GCDers, we sometimes do this in the Danish community where we just log on and sit and do them together. No need to even, we just say hi, but then we just sit together and do them microphones on mute, just on video. That commitment helps as well, helps the accountability. One thing that I have enjoyed, for those of you who weren't able to join us just as we started, I've been monitoring the experiment that I have. So for those of you who weren't here, I've just made a small experiment to try and share a small GCD weekly review tracker that I made to hopefully inspire and help you all to stay on track and get those weekly reviews done on a weekly basis. And it started to grow a bit, which is really cool. So I've been able to see people that were in progress with their reviews. So you can see the yellow dots; those are in progress. Irvan is doing his. Helen as well. We have a couple of people in the US joining us as well. Carlos, Dylan, Steven completed his as well. So in my tracker, the first to complete this week. So well done, Steven. So if you want to join, it's free. It's just for fun. It's an experiment. LarsWeekly.com was the best available short URL that I could find. So those of you who want to play along and use that, it's over there. Still buggy, definitely still beta. There are supposed to be notifications that come with the app. They don't, for example, work right now. So it's just fun to play along with. And hey, some more green dots. Well done to you all as well, Brandy and Helen as well. And one last tip as well from our side. So let me switch back to this one here. Any reviewing is better than none at all. Don't let yourself keep from getting back in the game because you don't feel like you're doing it 100%. I think this is something that perhaps we should have as a wrap up for all of the weekly reviews that we go ahead and do. Just a reminder that you don't have to do a complete review all the time. We certainly recommend you would, but you might not have the time. Some stuff might have shown up for whatever reason. Can you perhaps go in and just run through the projects list, or just look through the next week's calendar or previous calendar, or pick some steps at least just to keep the momentum going, and hopefully next week you can still get back on track and get through that whole review. That is the last tip from our end.
Yes, but not exactly the last tip, because I have a tip as well.
Hey, good.
And I'm going to try if I can share my screen now, which is going to be kind of interesting. See if we can do that. Because let's see if that shows up in a second. So it did not.
I suspect I know what you wanted to share. So let me perhaps share that on my end, Morten, because I think I can share that, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, let me try and see if this works. So I'll go back and find you and hit that share button and hit the share on this one.
Yes. Ha!
Did I guess correctly?
He reads my mind. Yes, he does. No, I just wanted to mention this just briefly, just 30 seconds, saying that we are doing again the masterclass retreat. Some of you have learned about this before, but if you haven't, it is an event that Lars and I are hosting, and we are doing it with David Allen and Catherine Allen now in Norway in February. And this is by application only, so if you wanted to do that, you can apply. And it is a black car service, single room, all meals included, and way and possibility for you to meet and hang with David and Alan, Catherine Allen, and Lars and I. And it is not a free thing, but you will have very much left for it after. So there is only 3 seats available now in February. So if you want to consider this, you should consider quickly. And I hope that, and there's 9 seats available in September. So hope to see some of you there, and that's it. Now you can close the. Now we've done our. Yeah.
Now Morten marketing is done.
We are. Let's close that market. So let's see.
No, well then just let's wrap up with a big thank you again once again for joining us. This is fun. So glad that you were able to make it. Really cool to see that GTDers, you're sticking to it. There, you joined at the beginning, and we saw those numbers, and you stayed on board, and you stayed with us all throughout the whole stream. So really happy to see that. And thank you so much for joining. We will promise to do this next year again, Morten?
I think we must. Yeah,
I think we should promise
let's try to do that. So okay. Well, take care, and thanks for your time and your effort. And we hope that you had some really good enjoyment of this. So take care.
Morten, will you take us out with your tagline, maybe?
Yes, I will. Until next time, which might be a year or even before, if we see you somewhere. Stay safe and stay productive. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye.
Okay, let's close the stream. Thank you all.